IEP project number 2 for XED 635. This course project is due October 25th. It is worth 35 points. You can turn in your draft of the IEP by 11:59 p.m. on October 25th to get feedback. Based on that feedback, you can make revisions or changes to your project in order to recoup possible points. I will regrade projects that were submitted on time by the end of the semester. So if you turn it in October 25th, you'll get feedback within the next week, and you can make changes by the end of the semester to earn up to full points. The IEP is a written statement that documents the supports, services, and goals for a student with a disability. In this project, you're doing an annual review, so an update or revision that occurs on an annual basis for a student who already has an IEP. You'll be graded on 6 specific sections. So use the IEP template, and the areas that are highlighted will all need to be filled out. Some of that information you can import from the student's current IEP. The areas that you'll be graded on specifically are the student strengths, the current academic achievement and functional performance, the disability-related need statement, the parent concerns and family engagement strategies, the IEP goals, and the supplementary aids and services. For those of you using Maria's IEP rather than an actual student, components of the initial IEP for Maria will be helpful. You'll also want to use your notes from the video lecture in week 4. You'll want to use notes from the chapters that you've read, from the Edpuzzle that you completed on PLAFP statements, and the Edpuzzle that you completed on writing college career-ready IEP goals. In the student strengths section, your revision should include specific skills in academics and functional performance. They should include the student's interests. You can put these as hypothetical if there are not sufficient explanations in the initial draft of the IEP. Avoid writing statements that carry subtext that really says, I don't know any strengths for the student. So don't write something like, is a pleasure to have in class, attend school regularly. That tells us more about you than it does about the student. So name something that is an area of relative strength or is a strength. Maria, if you're using her IEP, is bilingual bicultural. That means she has many assets to bring to learning. She can use knowledge of 2 languages. That is a strength that you could include. For disability-related needs, more than just the phrase, reading comprehension, written expression, reading fluency should appear in that box. Use what you learned in the video lecture on writing IEPs. So the video lecture in week 4 from Maria gave us a sentence frame. The student needs to develop, improve, increase X area, skill, or behavior related to the cause of the disability so that the student can Y. So Maria needs to improve reading fluency so that she can read with speed and accuracy to make meaning from on-grade level text. You need a sentence in that disability-related needs box, not just a phrase. For family engagement strategies, what you list here should be more than phone call, mail, text reminder. They should be descriptions of actions that are feasible, manageable to the family, and show that you are putting forth effort to have the family be involved and engaged with developing the IEP and monitoring progress for the IEP. The PLAFP statements for Maria can be updated on this annual review. We want to use the PLAFP to tell at least 5 to 7 sentences about what the student knows and can do. This should only be a summary of skills and performance. The way that we summarize is by using information from multiple sources. We can use records, interview, observation, testing. An example of what not to write is Mark's learning disability affects his progress in the general curriculum. That does not summarize what Mark knows and can do. A better way to intro the PLAF for Mark here would be Mark's learning disability results and weaknesses in applying inferential thinking strategies and making predictions while reading, which adversely affect his comprehension of 6th grade literacy materials. That's one of what could be 5 to 7 sentences that tell more about what Mark knows and can do right now in this area of reading, so that we can understand the basis for setting the IEP goal. When we write the IEP goal, be sure to keep the statement just one single sentence. So a frame or template for writing that sentence could be by month of year, student will make progress toward some brief phrase from whatever the standard is that you're aligning with, by, and then list measurable skills, in order to achieve, and list a criterion. So on this slide, for a hypothetical IEP goal by February of 2023, Sam will make progress toward understanding the place value system by naming the value of a digit, comparing and ordering numbers, and explaining patterns within the base 10 number system, computing to solve problems using numbers 0 through 1 million in order to achieve 75% accuracy on 6 independent practice trials. The section of the IEP that you'll update for Maria can have some information that you see on her IEP at a glance forms. But we want supplementary aids and services, so things that Maria needs in order to access curriculum in all content areas. We know Maria has difficulty with reading comprehension, reading fluency, and written expression, so supplementary aids here could be text-to-speech support, word prediction tools, graphic organizers, bilingual dictionary is listed on the IEP at a glance. Whatever you list as a supplementary aid or service should also have a description of when Maria needs to access that service. Do not use the phrase as needed or when needed. Instead, specify those conditions. So if you're going to say that she needs text-to-speech support, when she needs that is going to be whenever she is given written language material in all content area classes, instead of saying something like as needed in content classes. The thing that makes text-to-speech needed is that she has the expectation to read written language. You'll specify location, duration should be the full 12 months of the IEP term, and in the boxes that you're filling out for supplementary aids, it may be that you are copying and pasting like full IEP term or listing the location from all of the classes. So it is okay to have repetition, but the main thing that you need here is specification of when the supplementary aid or service is. So this project takes at least 3 hours, if not longer, to complete. Open the IEP template. You're going to turn in on Canvas only the IEP template with all highlighted areas being replaced with text that you've either carried over from the initial IEP or written anew. Use the data file for Maria, use the IEP at a glance files. So you've got 3 new files and 1 initial IEP to serve as the basis for what you're going to write in all of the highlighted sections on the template. You'll have at the end of the project potentially a 30-page document that documents the new IEP goals for Maria that you've written, the related present level of academic achievement and functional performance statements for Maria, the full sentence disability related needs statements, a list of family engagement strategies. You'll have student strengths that represent areas of relative strength, areas of strength and interests of Maria. The remaining information will be information that you carry over from the files that are already linked on Canvas.